connected and grounded and centered like this are so tremendously powerful. And then from your heart, breathe in again. And this time on the out breath, just come up and just go right out the top of your head, staying with your hands still, holding your grounding, but also allowing your crown to open up to Creator, guides, angels, to whomever you connect with that powerful Creator energy. We honor all paths here. And just ask for that light of Creator to also just come back down as you take a breath in from your crown, coming throughout your energy field. Just filling you, balancing you, holding you, blessing you. And this is just a tiny piece of the kinds of energy work that we teach at school. But you can see if you can continue to just be in that state or presence as we go through the meeting. And our educational system so teaches us to go to our heads and be in thought. So if you realize your head's going blah, blah, blah again, you know, it's like, can you take a breath back in? Can you come back to your center and be present? And it's an experience to get there. So I want to read the mission statement for the school first, and then we'll go through a little bit more talking and some introductions, etc. But Kawakea was our first faculty hired. She was in my first class and graduated in 2004. And she actually was a fairly cooperative, kind student, but I had some in the class that challenged quite a lot. One, honestly, being an Army colonel who was pretty critical. And one day, several of them said to me, well, you don't even have a mission statement for this school. And the whole process of the school had come through with guidance, just channeling through. And so I got up the next morning and I just got a pen with a blank piece of paper and said, okay, mission statement, please. So I want to read this to you. Sacred Path Healing, a time of growth, a time of grace, a time of karmic pattern dissolution, a time of knowing and loving God, a time of assisting others, a time of uncovering self, a time of ego dissolution, a time of joy, a time of stepping forth under the path to Creator's heart. Sacred Path is a school whose mission is to teach and practice love. Love for Creator, love for self, love for other, love for earth. Love flows in a sea of creativity and passion while maintaining structure, providing safety and boundaries, to look into the depths and shadows of one's being. Following the light and sound current vibrating truth, only then may answers be known and decisions made. Vibrating in loving truth dissolves differences, resolving in healing and peace. And as the process of self-healing continually unfolds, students open to their life mission and tasks, sharing Creator's blessings and grace. Sacred is the path. Healing is the mission. Love is the answer. Peace is the outcome. So that literally encapsulates what school is about. The first year is all about self-healing. We teach a bunch of things that apply to carry on to the next 2 years, which are healing skills included. But the first year really builds the foundation and the building blocks. So that's briefly about school. And I think we're going to stop here and let people introduce themselves, and then we can talk more about the curriculum. I'm Rui. I'm a retired nursing professor, and I went to the Barbara Brennan School of Healing, which was trekking to the East Coast 5 times a year for 4 years to graduate from that school. And I taught there. There was a 2-year teacher training program where I was teaching, and then 3 more years I was a full-fledged teacher. And finally, that trek 5 times a year was just becoming onerous. And so I resigned, and I finally could retire from UH. I was a full professor there, and I just got sick of the grant writing and the pressure constantly to publish or perish and all that stuff, and decided to retire as early as I could. And I was just going to have a healing practice at home, but Spirit was like, oh, no, a school. So we have been at it. We're in our 19th year. Next year will be 20 years of operating the school, and we've got like right at, I think, 120 or 130 graduates. Anyway, we've been putting people out, and it's fun to see the evolution of where they all go. I'm a grandma of 5. I do Zoom homeschool right now, 3 days a week, helping my family. Have a healing practice on the side, and we have been juggling because we moved the school to Kaimuki and trying to get set up, and it's been an intense summer. Kay has been with me the longest, so maybe I'll let you introduce yourself next, Kay, and then we can go from there.
Great. Hi, I'm Kokea. I've been so privileged to get to teach at Sacred Path Healing School for 16 years now, and keep peeling the onion of my own healing through that experience. I live on the Big Island now in Honoka'a, and I've been here 5 years, although I've spent most of my life on Oahu. And I am married and have a daughter and a son and a grandson, and my daughter and my grandson live near us. And so it's pretty wonderful being over here during the pandemic, although the numbers are rising on the Big Island. And we're all going through a lot right now just to stay safe and be home and enjoy life. We have a big yard and a big garden, and so I've been enjoying this time actually very much.
And a rock builder husband,
yeah.
rock wall builder husband who has absolutely beautified their property.
Yeah. So we've been having a lovely artist in residence experience, and so in first year I teach a lifestyle class, and it's a community building class on sharing what we're eating and drinking, what we're doing, and our lifestyles, and we learn a lot from one another in that. I'm an astrologer, and so I teach astrology in year 2, and then I have been teaching sound healing in year 3 as well. So my journey has been long and arduous, like many of us. I've had a few marriages. My former husband, Fodiaba, passed away from cancer in 2008. That was a very big journey for me towards grief and understanding the full cycles and circles of life and love and death and birth. And I'm just settling over here on the Big Island. It's been a very good time this summer after a lot of change in my life, a lot of ups and downs and twists and turns. I think for me, Sacred Path Healing has allowed me to mature and face many things in life that younger I was very sensitive and a big crybaby. And I've gotten very strong and very stable, and it's been a wonderful journey to continue to just grow up in many ways. And really, I want to just acknowledge, because of her professor at UH and School of Nursing and her nursing background, she bridges between East and West so beautifully, between the healing modalities of working with the chakra system and, you know, the energy body as a whole, in whatever traditions you may, through your spiritual practices, understand, as well as working with people who have, you know, really serious diagnoses in the health areas. And so we are a very grassroots school with lots of babies and doggies and children and families, and we love our growing community. We're very close, and growing community, I think, is really at the core of what Sacred Path Healing is about, and learning how to ground and be with one another in very real, beautiful ways.
We need to get a count of how many Sacred Path babies we have now too. We just had one born 3 days ago, but literally, I always say in first year, if you don't want to be pregnant, make sure you are doing what that takes, because these babies, these little souls up there are looking down going, oh, I'd like one of those mamas or papas for a parent situation. So I don't know. We'll have to count that someday. That would be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe Kathy can go next. She's like our second longest faculty. So.
Okay. And that was beautiful what you said, Kay, too, about gratitude for being part of this faculty and seeing it grow and evolve, each and every one of us. And as a community, it's been an amazing experience. And it continues, as we all know. So I welcome each of you, should you choose to take this path. It is well worth it. Everyone always needs to check within themselves as to whether this is Pono for you. And I welcome you all to ask any of us any questions or anything. But I'm so glad, Rui, you did the intro, wonderful meditation and grounding. That is such a huge part of this school, and bringing ourselves back to within ourselves, no matter what is going on elsewhere. What is this to us? What are our triggers? How do we work with them? How do we change these patterns? Do we have the support for it? Do we have the community for it? Do we have the space to process it for ourselves? And this is, for me, one of the ways that is powerful and effective to do this. Should you choose to do this. I choose every day to do this, and I'm so grateful that this is part of me and my life and my spiritual foundation, always and forever. So, a little deep, sorry, but this is, this is part of what the school is about, is going to the depths and then coming back into lightness and bringing it in balance. Again, this is just one of the many beautiful ways to do it. This has worked beautifully for me, and it's very highly complementary to other interests that I might have too, and I do have. And it works within my family. It's interesting to see over time how things evolve as well, and how really hard places with particularly loved ones that you just need to keep touching on. It's really interesting how things evolve, and sometimes they'll stay the same, you just never know. But you look at yourself and you look at your process with all of this, and you ask yourself, how am I doing with this all? And can I be kind to myself? Can I just be with it all and live my life in the best way possible? And the answer is yes, you can always do that. Every day you have the choice to do that again and again. So anyway, that's all I'll say. There's so much that everyone can share and talk about. I'm very interested to hear what the rest of you have to share. So thank you.
I think we have Emmy and Wendy, also faculty, on the call. So if you guys want to chime in first, and then we'll get to hear all about you people who've joined us today.
Hi, my name is Emmy. Thank you, Kathy. I always appreciate your depth and how willing you are to explain that depth. So thank you. Um, I am a recent graduate of Sacred Path. I'm a testament to the healing modalities and utilizing the different healing responses that we learn in year 2 and 3 while holding a job in the Mayor's Office of Economic Development and the Senate President's Office, and seeing how changing my energy and holding space for those people and those spaces really affected different outcomes for not only my boss but also the entire Senate floor. For me personally, the biggest thing that helped me in Sacred Path was I lost my daughter in year 3, and it's truly been difficult. Um, and I am forever grateful for the community that Sacred Path has provided. And for Rui for continually showing up, not only for myself, but for everybody. Wendy, who is my classmate, you know, I'm still texting her like all the time. I was like, girl, like today was really sad, you know, but being able to have that community that you know will hold you and will be there for you no matter what has been truly such an honor, and it has humbled me so much. So I I'm still grieving and still going through the process, and knowing that I have all of you truly, you know, has made the process that much more bearable, for lack of a better word, and has also helped me come back to center a lot because I have 3 water signs, so it's easy for me to just be like, okay, I'm gonna go float away now. So I'm grateful for the grounding and the community, and I also coordinate the graduate clinic and processing. So seeing how the Sacred Path community comes together, and how when you graduate there is truly no separation from whomever shows up to processing. We all hold each other with the utmost respect and compassion. So I'm grateful, and I thank you all for being brave enough to show up today and learn more and see what Sacred Path Healing has to offer. Thank you.
Wendy's in motion here.
I'm so sorry, you guys. So this homeschool thing, all my ear pods have all disappeared because kids are stealing them to do their homeschool. And then we've got yard work going on.
But you know, it doesn't come through. It's amazing.
You can see my messy room. Anyways, we do our best. So, I'm Wendy. I graduated with Emmy. I feel so blessed to be part of Sacred Path still. I feel like I'm in my PhD program here that will probably go on for the rest of this lifetime. But I feel so grateful to be able to continue the learning and the journey with everybody. And it's funny, when I show up to class now after graduation, I still find that all of you are like mirrors for everything that I need in that moment, in that day, whatever, in that life. I grew up in Virginia. I ended up here in Hawaii about 20 years ago with my husband. And it's interesting, everybody that we met seemed to be a graduate or part of this school. And everybody told me I needed to go. So I don't know what look I had on my face at the time. I must have been really lost. But they all, you know, lovingly guided me to come to school, and I kept putting it off. I had 4 babies, and then finally I just got to this point where I knew that I was not in my body because I was looking down at myself and thinking that this was not how life was supposed to be. This isn't how hard it was supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be about suffering and, you know, feeling tormented. And I can say that coming to school in that first year and finally experiencing being grounded, just like we did this morning, was kind of a shocker. And I think the biggest thing was finding that community where I felt safe enough to stay grounded for long periods of time, to really understand all the things that I have been through in my life, whether I asked for it or not, but also to understand what I was responsible for in my life and the directions that it led me and those lessons. So, I just tell everybody that is open to this school that it will be very challenging and very hard, but it's also the most beautiful thing and the most loving thing you can do for yourself. So thank you guys.